How did the quarterback position play itself out according to you?
We'll have to look at the video. I don't, it's tough to say just right now. But they've all done good things in the spring. This isn't, would you like to play quarterback today? So we had snow, sun, wind, locusts, I think, flew through. I don't know. But I thought they all, again, they didn't all get very many reps either, and it's hard. And then there's different wideouts playing because we picked the teams. But I thought Cooper did some good things. I thought Alex showed some nice things. And, again, they've all done good things all spring. So, again, we think we have some good, capable ones to choose from, and just got to keep putting them in tough situations.
Coach, some of your running backs ran pretty well today. Garland, Martez even, and then Tim Phillips, obviously. Just talk about where those guys are at.
Yeah, we think we're deep. We didn't play Saylor or Zerlon because of we've seen enough of them, we felt. And we want to get those other guys some reps. But, yeah, we think Tim Phillips had a good day. He's had a good spring. Really been healthy for the first time for an entire year. Anthony Garland's had a very impressive spring. And Martez Walker, we think, is going to be an outstanding player someday.
Coach, can you talk about Alex a little more? A couple of scoring drives for him looked pretty good today.
Yeah, I thought Alex has had a really good last week and a half of spring practice. Really coming along. I think he's getting very comfortable and getting his confidence, and he can run. He moved the team. That's important.
A lot of batted passes along the line of scrimmage today in the passing game. How much of that is your quarterbacks and improvement? How much of it is improved play from the defense?
It's not really the quarterbacks on that. That's really the D-line doing a great job of getting push and being aware. Coach Rickenstick's done a great job. We've had more passes batted down this spring ball. He does a great job of teaching those guys to get in there, and then as they're getting their rush, to get their eye on the quarterback and to try to disrupt things. And they've done that, and that's coached, and that's our defensive coach is doing a great job, and that's our offensive line getting pushed a little bit too much too in there.
Were you satisfied with them getting in the backfield? They got a couple sacks. And
Yeah, I think that's great. I think our defensive line this has been the best our defensive line has played since I've been here, and we don't even have Alex Smith, Jabari Dean, or Lewis Palmer playing. So when we get those guys back and we inject our freshmen that we signed, I really do think that defensive line is going to be a strength of this football team for years to come.
Was that a point of focus? I mean, last year you were 100 in sacks in the nation.
Oh yeah, that's been our focus since I've been here. When I got here, we didn't have a D lineman over 280 pounds. So you can't just change it in 1 year. It takes time. You got to, these guys have to come. You recruit them. You have to develop them. You can't sign 12 defensive linemen in one class because you have other positions you got to take care of. So it's a process, and this is where we're at with the process. We built it, and it's getting better. You got a guy like LT in there. You got Matt Lozanecki, Schaefer Johnson, Kelby Latta. Those defensive tackles have all played outstanding this spring. Blake Serpent's had a very good spring. Kenny McClendon's been very good. So that's where we are. And as I mentioned, when we get those other guys back, I think Jabari Dean and Lewis Palmer, those guys both played as true freshmen this year. With another year of development, those guys could be outstanding, and Alex Smith is going to be a very good pass rusher for us as well.
Coach, Titus Davis looked really good early. Talk about how good he can be this season.
Titus is obviously super talented. We played him for a quarter, and he kind of talked us into that. He always does. He loves to practice. He loves to play. He's got great ability. As you can see, he's very explosive and makes people miss. And him and Zerlon are two of the best skill players in this league, so we're lucky to have him.
Coach, you talked about in the past the offensive line being a strength of this team. Can you just talk about what you saw out of that group today?
They're not all there. We had some true freshmen: Colin Gatz, Dylan Anderson, Connor Collins, and Kevin Darcy. We had 4 true freshmen in there playing today. So they got knocked around a little bit, but I thought they played hard. Andy Phillips and Nick Beamish and Kevin Henry are the 3 returning starters that played. They were on different teams, 2 of them on one on the other. Those guys are very good. When we get Jake Olson back and get Kenny Rogers back, and these guys have another 6 months or 4 or 5 months in the weight room, I think our offensive line again will continue to be a strength for us.
Kaluzi into the wind from 50 yards. It's just a little glimpse of his leg strength, isn't it?
Oh, he's talented. I hate to use that word unless I get Titus, but they're talented. Ron is very talented. He's got to just continue to be more consistent. He's done that now this spring. I think spending a year, and that was our plan, to redshirt him for a year and let him watch, David Harmon and be around him. I really think that Ron, again, has a very, very bright future and a very, very good upside.
how do you grade the secondary today? There was new quarterbacks coming in, obviously the weather, but they did get 3 interceptions all over.
Yeah, I think our secondary against played very well this spring. Jason Wilson now has been at corner for a full year. We moved Brandon Greer to corner. He's been very good. Tony Enos has been outstanding at safety. We redshirted him last year. Then you got Avery and you got Kayvon Frazier and Jarrett Chapman who started. Again, I think we're deep. I think our football team is just much better just from the last couple years in spring. There's been a lot more give and take. Offense wins there, defense wins there, offense is up, defense is up, and for the most part, our defense has been a little ahead. And for the first time since I've been here, that's happened. Usually our offense has been a little ahead, and that makes you nervous as a coach. Our defense has been ahead this spring, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Coach, just I guess last position group to hit on linebackers. How do you think they did today?
Good. I think we have good ones. You know, Shamari and Justin Shiroki are very, very good in this league. And then our young guys, Nate Ricketts is going to be a heck of a player. Joe Bacci, Tim Hamilton, and Coley Lopez. So we got 6 in there. We signed some awful good ones too. So again, we got some older guys, we got young guys we're developing, and then we got new ones coming in. So
how much does it help the defense being in the 4-2-5 again this year?
I think the players are starting to understand. I think as you saw as the season went, we got better at it too. They understand the nuances with it, how to play it. Guys have been playing in it. They believe in it. Our coaches are doing a good job of coaching it. I thought we tackled well today. I thought our defense was very active today. I thought a couple times backs had room, and then I saw it boom, it closed. And that's a sign of a team that's playing hard and running. And I thought those were positive signs today.
Were a couple of hits on the quarterback still too much for you in case? Or?
They need to get knocked around a little bit. You know, they haven't played, so I kind of was a little. Usually I get on those guys and they hit Rad, you know, because Rad played so much. But today they got knocked around a little bit, and I thought that was okay. You know, they've got to feel that, and the players on the team like it too. So it kind of makes you feel like you're one of the boys. You know what I mean?
Coach, I guess just your overall thoughts on the game today, based on what you've seen out of spring practice and up until now.
Very, very optimistic, very enthusiastic, positive. Everybody, our whole program. You know, I've had a lot of people that have been very close to our program and watched our practices over the last couple of years have all commented on the energy, the team speed, our D-line, the athleticism, and how well and how fast we've practiced and how much we get accomplished. So we feel really, really good about the team. So as I told them in there, it's going to be critical from now till we report. We got to get bigger, stronger, faster. We got to finish out academically the right way. We can't have any off the field problems or issues because we need every guy in that room. And you know, we got to inject our freshmen June 26th when they come to summer school. I think we'll have a makings of a good football team.
A little tough. I mean, coming out here and kind of battling the elements as well as, you know, having, you know, different wide receivers and different linemen in front of you. But you really just got to go out there and you just got to try to do your best and, you know, see which way the wind's kind of blowing. I mean, it kind of sucks, you know. It's probably nice and warm with the press box where you guys are. But, you know, down there, it was tougher than you want, especially when the fans are coming. You want to put on a show for them, especially what you've been doing all spring during practice. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Cody, you got a pretty talented receiving core.
Yeah.
Talk about how nice it is as you're, you know, any quarterback having those guys.
Oh, it's nice having a great foundation like that, where you know, you're too deep all the way across the board almost. So you just really want to try to get the ball in their hands and put yourself in the right situation where you can get the ball in their hands, and also be able to turn around and hand the ball off to those type of guys. And I mean, that's all you can ask for as a quarterback.
Your guys' defensive line's played pretty well today. Talking about that.
Yeah, the D-line was in our face, kind of like all the quarterbacks. You know, you're just watching it as tip ball after tip ball, or, you know, a sack or something along those lines. So really, if they can just carry that over into the off season and bring it to fall, I mean, that's great. That's all you can ask for. You really don't want to be able to have to focus on the D-line when you're dropping back, but sometimes it affects you.
Cody, obviously, for you being the quarterback, offensive line really important. Coach talked about a couple of young guys in there today. Can you just talk about the strength of the offensive line, what you've seen out of them this spring?
I mean, they're good. They're always good, and you can put the right guys in the right position. You know, we'll have a very solid foundation. But right now, you're trained in and out, and some young guys, some older guys, and they're trying to get the job done. But you know, sometimes it doesn't work their way, just like today.
Testing numbers, and then they blow me dead when Avery gave me a dirty look here. So, but I think that I just made a case for myself, and every day is going to be a battle this summer, and we'll see what shakes out in the fall.
Your athletic ability, what kind of separates you from the group?
I think it might not separate me, but it gives me another factor. It gives me the ability to be in there and for us to really call the entire playbook, whether we're throwing the ball down the field, whether we're screening, or whether we're running zone option read. It really allows us to do those types of things. And we see that in the NFL today. I mean, all the rookie class last year that everybody loved to talk about, you could run zone option read this play and throw the ball down the seam and do a 2-foot window the next. So that's what I'd like to do.
So what are some things you need to work on?
I need to work on my mobility and not running down the field, but in the pocket. I need to be able to move 6 inches and then throw the ball down the field. I need to keep when I'm moving, I need to keep my eyes down the field. So, if a safety flips his shoulders the wrong way, it's over, things like that. And, I have 3 months to work on it, so it'll be a journey every day.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
The pump faking out, I think it was Crowley. The wind just carried a little bit.
We've been inside every day but one, and that was just one that when I put it up there, and I was getting ready to sprint down the field, and then I saw the wind got a hold of it, and I was like, man, if we had just one more day to work on it outside. But the encouraging thing, it was open, and we saw it, and then it's discouraging that we were a couple feet off. So it's something you work on over the summer.
Alex, can you just talk about your performance today? A couple scoring drives. How did you feel out there? How the team worked?
Well, I felt really comfortable when I got out there. I was really encouraged by that things weren't moving too quick by any means. I had a couple passes that I'd like to have back. I mean, we were playing with new balls, and you can see they were bleeding a little bit. But, I think that we were able to move the ball. I was really happy that we didn't go 3 and out, or we didn't have a big play when we were done. We went right down the field, and sometimes that's what you got to do to keep the ball away from the opposing team.
Alex, you got a pretty talented receiving core. As you're in the position for the battle for the starting job, talk about what it's like to have a talented receiving core to throw to.
Well, talented might be an understatement. We've talked a lot about how this might be the best receiving core in the MAC, and I would put this receiving core up against almost any conference in the country to say that they would be near the top. I mean, Titus and Courtney and Jesse and DeFarrell, and the list goes on and on and on. So it really takes the pressure off us. We just got to get on the same page that if we can see that, if we can look out there and see that the defender is 2 yards too shallow, I'll get the pet band ready, things like that. And we'll be doing that all summer. So hopefully when we get ready for Michigan week 1, we'll have all our timing down and we'll be playing the fight song a lot.
What's it like? That defensive line played pretty well today. Talk about that.
Well, I think LT was a little too happy to put those hits on me. It was when I got up, my ears were ringing a little bit. It's the first time I've been hit in a while, but at the same time, it was good. They put some unbelievable pressure on us, and that's going to be paid dividends for us because guys like LT are just so talented up front that if it takes 2 guys to block him, somebody else is one-on-one, and then that's a nervous feeling knowing that you don't have any backside help. So I think it's going to pay dividends for our defense and our secondary as well.
When there's a bit of a downpour coming this way for a little bit, where you're like, why now?
It was when we were down at this end, it was like the end of days out here. I was looking, trying to see the signals, and in the back of my mind, I was like, if it comes down harder, I'm just calling the plays because I can't see anything. But I think that once we scored down there and the sun came out, I was a little frustrated that we didn't start the game then. But that's the weather, and we got to deal with it.
What starting position, and what have you kind of learned from the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think that competition makes everybody better, and I'm really excited about that. And what I mean by that is it fires me up in the morning because when I get up, whether I'm going to do something with the team or whether I'm going to work on my own or I'm just throwing with a couple guys, it's just what can I do today to get better. But the idea of a quarterback competition, it only goes as far as you really look into it. With the idea that when Cody's out there, it's not like I'm out there trying to knock down his passes, or when Cooper's out there. Us 3 guys out there today, we're competing with each other, but at the same point in time, there's nothing I can do when you're on the field. It's just when I get my opportunities, I need to be ready. So my focus is really on Michigan right now and just being the best player I can be when we go to Ann Arbor.